morning and welcome to this week's episode of Iconic Freedom, The Formula. Here we set a standard for accountability and responsibility, the ownership of your choices and your outcomes and everything that follows. Let each care for self and all will be cared for. So when I talk about the formula, we talk about that periodic chart that you see on the various websites that this is posted on, where you create those elements that come together and bring harmony to your life. And if one of those elements in your life is not working, then you extract it and you reevaluate it and, again, bring that harmony to your life. You know, there's a scene many of us remember from childhood in The Wizard of Oz, where Dorothy, she spends the entire story trying to find her way home, right? She travels through these strange places and she meets these unexpected companions. She faces challenges that she never anticipated. And all along, she's searching for someone who can show her the way back. Then, at the very end, she learns something simple. The power to go home had been with her the entire time. She taps her heels 3 times together and she repeats quietly, "There's no place like home." And in that moment, she wakes up, not in a new place, in the place she belonged all along. And in many ways, that's exactly what inner authority feels like. You finally realize when that moment happens for you, you've come home to yourself. People will spend a lifetime trying to get home. Not a physical home, but the inner home. The place where life first began for all of us. When everything was new and you were a blank canvas beginning your journey. But along the way, a lot of schmutz, gets layered on top. Some of it from others, some of it from ourselves, but some of it from others. Expectations, opinions, ideas about who you should be. And then some of it from ourselves, where there's fear or doubt. Trying to be accepted, trying to perform for approval. And over time, that noise can bury something very simple, your inner authority. I spent years chasing something, anything, that would give me knowledge, that knowledge of how to navigate this life. It was only when my epiphany happened one amazing day in October of 2006, some 20 years ago, as a matter of fact, coming up, when all the proverbial solitaire cards fell into place like in a game app. I turned the right card. I kept turning cards, trying to discover, and when I turned the correct card for me, because every game is different, right? And they all fell into place. That's when I understood. Decision to choice, to responsibility to the choice, accountability to the choice, and outcome along with whatever follows. And it all made sense. It didn't magically fix what I thought was askew in life, but it gave me the roadmap of now managing my life in a way that I'm the one that's deciding. Life isn't happening to me, it was happening because of me. Now I understood what and the reason that it was happening because of me and the choices. And it was the authority, the inner authority that I started to develop and come home to. Because authority isn't dominance, right? It's not punishment and force. And real authority is internal. And it's the quiet authority that it guides your life as it unfolds. It's not loud, it's not aggressive. It just quietly is whispering in your ear, this, not that, or not this, but that. It's subtle, but once you begin to recognize it, you realize that it's been there all the time. Just like Dorothy, she had the power all the time. That inner authority has been there all the time. And your authority stands as alignment of yourself. It's the alignment between your character, your choices, your actions, your integrity. There's no contradiction between them anymore. They are perfectly aligned. You're not negotiating with yourself. You're not explaining your integrity. You're simply living in a way that fits. Not because your choices are perfect. That's not what you're seeking. But because they fit. They fit for you. Because the choices are perfect for you. They fit the character you've built through responsibility and accountability. And sometimes those choices won't make sense to anyone else. Doesn't matter. Someone else might choose differently, guaranteed. But that doesn't matter. Authority isn't about consensus. It's about alignment. Your alignment with self, with the universe in which you exist. Your choices aren't perfect in some universal sense, but they're perfect for you. There's a quiet shift that happens. Once that alignment settles in, something I think remarkable starts to happen. That your mind becomes quiet. You're no longer rescuing everyone around you. You're no longer defending every boundary that you've made. You're no longer rehearsing every conversation that hasn't happened. You stop trying to control life, and something else begins to appear. Ease. The ease of life. And it's not because the world suddenly became simple, but because you stop interfering with everything, trying to control it. You allow reality to unfold. You trust your character, you trust your response, and life begins to feel lighter. You know, there's this idea of your choice, your life, perfect for you. It reminds me of a song. I think it was on Sesame Street, if I don't remember. And when we were young, you know, it's like, don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. You just sing a song. And that's the beauty of it, is that you don't have to worry if it's good or not good enough for anyone else with your choices. You just do. You do for you. And that's authority. You're no longer performing your life for an audience. You're simply living it. People will spend years searching for the answer outside themselves. They're trying to find someone who can tell them what to do, how to live, what path to take. But eventually, it becomes clear. The authority that is guiding your life was never somewhere else. It was never someone else. It was within you the entire time. And when you finally trust that, you realize something very simple, something special. Home. You've come home to you. And when you're home, life becomes easier. Not because you control it, but because you finally allow it. You own it, and you cruise right through it, like that magic carpet that I've talked about before. You step on it and you just let it glide. Stop controlling life and start living it. Okay, hit that like button if you would. Share it with your family and friends. You never know how it might support them in their endeavor. All the fun links are below, and if you're inclined, feel free to subscribe on Buzzsprout. I am on X and Truth Social, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. The link to my newest book, The Christmas Cookie, Stories from the Counter, is listed below. I'd be grateful and honored if you chose to pick up a copy. It's a collection of heartwarming stories that I quietly say unfold the very principles that we talk about here each week. And until next time, stay sharp, stay sovereign, and as always, remember, let each care for self, and all will be cared for. Make it a great week.